Hey, I'm Steve Dangle, and welcome to another episode of 70 in 7, where we break apart the Leafs' 70-game season so far into 10-game segments and break it down. Today, we're going to be doing games 51 to 60. You're almost caught up. Recapping the last video, Keefe's Leafs were hot. So hot. In fact, they were the hottest team in the National Hockey League, and they didn't so much hit a speed wobble as they crashed into the core of the earth. Morgan Rielly went down. The Leafs mercifully went into the All-Star break, but Austin Matthews had a brace on his hand. How are they going to come out? Well, game one was pretty good. They beat the Nashville Predators. Rasmus Sandin with a heck of an assist to William Nylander. But that was game 50. Game 51 against the Dallas Stars in Dallas. First period, Austin Matthews, nifty move! Hand looks good. His 36th of the season, 1-0 Leafs. But Dennis Gurianov, great night, great player, underrated, made it 1-1. Zach Hyman, who after starting the season late is quietly chugging. He's got his 14th goal of the year to make it 2-1. And Tyson Barrie gets one off an Andreas Johnsson rebound. Leafs up 3-1 on the road. Alexander Radulov would bring the Stars within one, but William Nylander kicks a Jake Muzzin rebound to himself, bangs it in, restores the 2-goal lead. Radulov would score again, but Andreas Johnsson iced it. Leafs beat the Stars on the road. So after what was probably the worst little stretch of Sheldon Keefe's Leafs so far, they have two nice wins on the road after the All-Star break. All right, things are looking up. Before the Leafs' home game against the Ottawa Senators, a little side story. Kapanen and the alarm clock that never was. Supposedly he overslept, the Leafs organization made him pay for it, and they gave him a team-issued suspension. And the other little side story here, so lots of guys are getting call-ups. They're getting into their first games as a Leaf, or even first NHL games. There was Pontus Aberg, there was Mason Marchment, there was Adam Brooks. Nothing for Jeremy Bracco. Well, as Kapanen gets his team-issued suspension, Jeremy Bracco also goes on personal leave. A little bit of mystery there. Meanwhile, the Leafs have a game to play against the Ottawa Senators, and not looking good without Kapanen so far. No goals after one, and Mark Borowiecki puts the Sens up 1-0 in the second. But Jason Spezza, turn the knife on the Sens, scores to make it 1-1 on the power play with a bomb. And the Leafs tried to put it away. They outshot the Sens 15-6 in the third period, but Craig Anderson pulled a rabbit out of his hat. Game goes to overtime, and not long to go. In overtime, the Sens take a penalty, so the Leafs have a power play, which means the Leafs get to send out 4 players to the Sens 3. Who are the 4 that the Leafs chose? Austin Matthews, William Nylander, John Tavares, Mitch Marner. All forwards, and all fun. They're passing it around, and you can hear the Harlem Globetrotters whistle going on in the background. Mitch Marner, bomb on the one-timer. That's game. Leafs win 2-1. The Big 4 delivered. What are we all worried about? Guys were obviously hurt. They were rusty heading into the All-Star break, and now the Leafs win 3 straight. 2 of those were on the road. Come on. Now in Game 53 against the Florida Panthers, it's their chance to prove it. And once again, Florida's right there. This game has heavy playoff implications. They got to win. And the Panthers are vulnerable. They got Mark Pysyk in the lineup as a forward? Come on. Naturally, he scored first. 1-0 Panthers after 1. John Tavares, William Nylander, Austin Matthews. Bang, bang, bang. The Leafs are up 3-1. Again, their big guns are delivering and getting them back into games. But during this game, Frederik Andersen went down with injury, and here you go, throwing it to the Wolves, or Panthers, Michael Hutchinson. He allows 3 goals on 13 shots. Mark Pysyk got a hat trick, and the Sens won by a final score of 5-3. Are you actually kidding me? Here we are, it's February 3rd. This team has the same problems that they've had exposed over and over and over again, and it might get a whole lot worse unless Frederik Andersen is healthy. And they have approximately no time to figure that out or make a move if they want to. So unless Casimir Kaskisuo turns out to be amazing, the Leafs are going to have to dig deep. Can't sleep through a trade. This is when it gets ridiculous, because all the anxiety from before the deadline comes back. Oh my goodness, who's going to start? It can't be Michael Hutchinson. What's going to be the trade? Alexander Georgiev of the Rangers kept getting brought up, and supposedly Darren Dreger said something along the lines of, I'm not even sure Sandin gets you Georgiev, and everyone lost their mind. Naturally, the Leafs' next game is against the New York Rangers in New York. John Tavares puts the Leafs up 1-0, but again, Michael Hutchinson allows 3 goals on 13 shots, and the Rangers are up 3-1 after 1. Matthews scores a pair in the second. I honestly hope this guy got Hart votes. I know he's not nominated, but he was banana sandwich for the Leafs this season. but Pavel Buchnevich puts the Rangers up. Close, but no cigar. Greg McKegg with the empty netter, and the Leafs lose their second straight. And guess what? The Leafs, the Rangers, and a goalie trade would all be in the same sentence, but it would be the Leafs made a goalie trade after their loss to the Rangers. And the trade was as follows. Trevor Moore, a 2020 third rounder, and a conditional 2021 third rounder for big bruising forward Kyle Clifford and Jack Campbell. The connection is Kyle Clifford was, I believe, Kyle Dubas's first client back when he was an agent, and Jack Campbell played for Dubas in the Sioux. And the break actually has an interesting little tie to the conditional pick in there. Basically, if Jack Campbell was in a certain number of games, then that third turns into a second, and if Kyle Clifford re-signs, then it becomes a second. Well, as for Campbell's side, they canceled the rest of the regular season, so that kind of cooks that. It's basically if the Leafs re-sign Kyle Clifford. But it's good. The Leafs adding to the lineup, adding Jack Campbell, and adding Kyle Clifford. Cody Ceci would be out for a month after that last game. Did I mention that? No, I didn't. But everyone's trying to feel good. Okay, maybe Jack Campbell will do well against the Ducks. He was getting his first start in the Leafs' next game against the Ducks. Kyle Clifford goes out there, no bucket in the warm-up. Everyone's like, that's our guy just because of that. And it's pretty average after the first period. Andreas Janssen and Nicolas Deslauriers score. It's 1-1 after 1. John Tavares with a power play goal. Austin Matthews with his 40th of the season. The Leafs take a 2-goal lead into the third. But Max Jones scores a shorthanded goal, and Adam Henrique scores a power play goal. For crying out loud, the Leafs surrender another multi-goal lead. It's against the Ducks, not like they were having a hot season, and it's at home. Jason Spezza goes, don't worry, I got this. Comes down the right wing, fakes a shot, scores on Ryan Miller. 3.5 to go. The Leafs are up. Derek Grant ties it for the Ducks with under a minute to go. Game goes to overtime. The Leafs would get a power play, and John Tavares would score the overtime winner with 7 seconds to go in overtime. Leafs get the win, but holy crap. Game 56 in Montreal. Strange game. Weird game. Shots are 7-7 in the first. No goals. Shots are 14-4 in the second period in favor of the Leafs. No goals. The Leafs get the first shot of the third period, and John Tavares scores. They get the 1-0 lead. The dam finally breaks for the Montreal Canadiens. And after dominating for at least 20 minutes, the Habs got the next 16 shots on goal. That one shot by John Tavares would be the Leafs' only shot of the period. Michael Hutchison watching from the bench like, I'm the problem, huh? Marco Scandella ties it with 2:33 to go in the third period, and despite a heroic effort from Jack Campbell in this game, Ilya Kovalchuk ices it for the Montreal Canadiens. He's on the Caps now, by the way. Leafs lose. Leafs extend Pierre Engvall, 2 years, $1.25 million, and it's interesting because right now the conversation is will he or won't he get in the lineup? And it feels like just a video or two ago I was talking about, man, he was so hot for a while, he was awesome. He hadn't actually scored for a long time before that deal was signed. But again, that's just one of those negative things bubbling under the surface. The Leafs have a home game now against the Arizona Coyotes. All right, get back on track. Christian Dvorak makes it 1-0 a minute and 4 seconds in. This team is nothing but consistent to tie it. Tyson Barrie blasts it. It ricochets off Zach Hyman and looked kind of painful. He winced, but also celebrated because he had scored a goal. Because Zach Hyman. Carl Soderberg gave the Coyotes the lead back, 2-1. Zach Hyman, again, his 16th of his shortened season, ties it and sends it to overtime. That one was a sick feed from John Tavares. His good play continued. When the Leafs were really bad during the stretch, John Tavares was playing some of his best hockey. And in overtime, you might remember this overtime winner, in the neutral zone, Kasperi Kapanen whacks the puck out of midair to himself, wins the foot race, snipes it, scores it, 3-2 Leafs victory on home ice. Game 58. Now, the Leafs hosting the Dallas Stars, and staying with the theme, they get someone back. Frederik Andersen, they got him back. They lose Andreas Janssen for what they think is the entire rest of the season. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's unbelievable the amount of times the Leafs had a guy get injured, had them come back, and someone else comes right out of the lineup. Now the Leafs are going to be playing into August, and it's still possible that Andreas Janssen can play, but it looks like the Leafs are going to have to go at least a couple rounds deep for us to even think about seeing him in the lineup. Denis Gurianov, a goal to put the Stars up and the Leafs behind, a minute 20 in. Again, Faksa, 24 seconds into the second period then on a breakaway. Are you joking? To the rescue, Austin Matthews. Is this thing on? Tyler Seguin, a power play goal, a minute and 21 into the third. Are you kidding? Zach Hyman with a late goal to give the Leafs some hope. Is there, how many players are on the team? Is it 5? It's not enough, and uncomfortable conversation is Stars only had 19 shots. Maybe the highlight of the game was Kyle Clifford getting into a big scrap with Jamie Alexiak there on home ice. So I'm sitting there asking, why do they look lazy? Why do they look like they don't care? Why do they look like they suck? And the answer, and I don't want to give this team excuses because they'll run away with it, but they skipped a practice already. Lots of players have been game time decision lately. Lots of players have been missing skates, missing practices. The Leafs are supposed to have a practice today on Friday, and that's canceled. This team has been brutalized by the flu. Now, I know a bunch of teams have, but the Leafs look dead. Game 59, the Leafs are taking on the Ottawa Senators, and former Leafs assistant coach and current Sens head coach DJ Smith gives the Leafs a little bit of bulletin board material by saying that Nikita Zaitsev is going to get the Auston Matthews assignment. Nice and early in the game, Auston Matthews with Zaitsev on the ice. Thank you very much. Leafs are up 1-0. Jake Muzzin puts the Leafs up 2-0. Timothy Liljegren getting an assist on that goal, his first career NHL point. John Tavares makes the Senators forget that William Nylander exists. Willie scores 3-0, but the Sens get two back. Connor Brown, the former Leaf, because of course, and Cody Goluboff with his first goal since the 2015-16 season, because of course. Marner gets the empty netter. Jack Campbell gets the win. And yeah, it's a win, but like, again with the multi-goal leads. And last game of this segment, game 60 of the season against the Buffalo Sabres on the road, wouldn't exactly instill confidence in the roster. And keep in mind, we're creeping closer and closer to the trade deadline. On that note, Igor Korshkov making his NHL debut in this one. Johan Larsson scores 1:32 into the second. The Leafs can't, like, when the puck drops, something happens where so do they. Connor Sherry gives the Sabres a 2-0 lead, and these are not the Buffalo Sabres we were talking about a few months ago that were well into a playoff spot. These guys stink. The only thing keeping the Leafs in this game, Igor Korshkov scores his first career NHL goal in his first career NHL game. Zach Hyman ties it. He's probably their MVP over the last 2 weeks. Jack Eichel scores. He tells the Leafs fans to sit down. I think I mentioned that in a previous video and I was wrong, or unless he did it twice, because he did it in this one. And I will reiterate the fact that it's kind of funny that he's sitting right now, but don't worry, there's lots of hockey to watch. But the Leafs are still in it. Kyle Okposo, though, just schooling Rasmus Sandin. 4-2. It's Okposo's 500th NHL point. VC less than a minute later, the Sabres win 5-2, and oh, Freddie. Why do we do this? So that's it for this segment, and the Leafs sort of limp to the end of it. All that's remaining, games 61 to 70. The trade deadline's in there. A certain ice maintenance individual is in there as well. Should you expect fireworks in the next video? I think you already know the answer to that. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. He works for them!